Hi guys, it's Allie. In today's video I have the third installment of my confidence sub-series. This is a sub-series to my encouragement series, which I hope to bring to you every Sunday, or at least most Sundays throughout the year. And I am really enjoying this series because it's causing me to reflect a lot on things that I've gone through in the past year. But it also is helping me to look forward to things that are coming my way and trying to figure out how I'm going to handle them as well. So in the first installment we talked about finding or building confidence when you may not have any, or when you may have lost some of it, and I gave you my top 4 tips for finding or building confidence. If you missed that video, I will have a card up here and a link in the description box for that video. In last week's video we talked about maintaining confidence, and I gave you my top 5 tips for maintaining confidence. Again, if you missed that video, I will have a card up here and a link in the description box for you. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that's very difficult, which is when people steal your confidence. We're going to talk about the 2 ways that people can steal your confidence, and we're going to talk about some ways to combat those 2 types of confidence theft. And then in next week's video, we're going to talk about some other external factors that kind of affect your confidence and how to guard against those as well. And for the future months, if you guys have any ideas about things that you want encouragement on, or things that you would just like to hear me talk about, you can always leave a comment in the comment section below. Or if you want to do it Dear Allie style and send me a private message or a private email, you can send me a direct message on YouTube. Or better yet, you can send an email to the email address that I have listed in the description box, and I will keep your name out of it and anything personal. I won't talk about things I don't feel comfortable talking about because I'm not an expert in most things in life. So, and I'm fine with that. I respect my limits. So if there is something that I feel like I can give you advice on, then I will, but if not, then I'll refrain from doing so. But yes, today we're going to be talking about the 2 ways that people can steal your confidence and how to combat this. So let's jump in. So there are really 2 ways that people can steal your confidence. The first is passive confidence theft, and that is when you're doing the action and you're the one who's kind of stealing your own confidence, but it's because you're comparing yourself to someone else. And the second way is by active confidence theft, and that's when someone intentionally or unintentionally insults you or does something that just makes you feel terrible about yourself. So first we're going to start off with passive confidence theft, and then we'll finish up with active confidence theft. So again, passive confidence theft is when you're kind of doing the action yourself and you're looking at another person's status or qualities, and you're just comparing yourself to them. Unfortunately, this is probably the most common and frequent form of confidence theft because it's very easy to do it on really a daily basis. I mean, even complete strangers you might be jealous of or compare yourself to them and find flaws in yourself. And the reason why this is so dangerous is because, so if you start here, like both people are equal, when you start comparing yourself to them, you elevate their status and their qualities, right? And then what you in turn end up doing without even realizing it is you end up lowering your own status and demeaning your own qualities, so you end up feeling twice as bad about yourself as before. And what does this sound like? Oh, she has a better job than me. Oh, he has the perfect life. Oh, she has the cutest boyfriend. They're just so cute together. And I'm single. The key to combating passive confidence theft or comparing yourself to other people is to shift the focus from what he or she has or what he or she does to what you can do with your skills and your talents to make your life as glamorous or as fulfilling as you imagine theirs is. Because again, you don't know what their life is like when you get from behind the picture, from behind the makeup, from behind the camera, from behind all of the facade that's being put up. You have no idea what's going on in their life, like truly. So, if I'm looking at someone and I just see the picture of being put together and organized, I don't really know if they're like that. I might think that they are. If that's something that I think will fulfill my life, what I need to do is figure out how I can use my skills and my talents to achieve that in my life. So if my goal is organization, then maybe I need to, the best thing for me to do, because I like to organize, so the best thing for me to do is to chart out days to complete certain tasks. And that shifts the focus from being about the other person and their great qualities, and it shifts it onto something that's productive for you, but also acknowledges the fact that you already have these skills and talents that you can put toward reaching that other goal. So, I hope that makes sense. So, I guess what I'm saying is, maybe your thing is, oh, well, she has a better job than me. Well, first of all, you don't know that, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of her job. But let's just go with that. Okay. What value does your job have to you? And how can you use your skills and your talents to make your job as fruitful and fulfilling as you want it to be to you and to someone else? And I can already hear people with but I'm just this, but I'm just that. Well, but I'm just a cashier. Okay, well, you have the unique opportunity to come across hundreds, if not thousands of people every day and make them smile, make them laugh. I mean, you never know how just one little smile or one kind word can turn someone's entire day around. And you have the unique opportunity to touch a lot of people on a daily basis. So that's certainly not an excuse for you to think less of yourself. You just never know how you can touch someone's life. You just have to look for opportunities to do it. You have to look for opportunities to use your skills and talents and stop focusing so much on the fact that her life is so great and figure out how you can make your life so great. So that's my top one and only tip for combating passive confidence theft. Alright, so second we have active confidence theft. And this is when you get those insults, the snide comments, or my favorite, the backhanded compliment. Anyone? Oh, you have such a pretty face. Thanks, I guess. Like, is that a compliment? I don't know. Is that a compliment? Or there are just so many backhanded compliments, and it's like, I mean, I know that you're trying to be nice, but at the same time, you just kind of insulted me too. Anyway, they're also, there's so many ways, right? They look like, that backhanded compliment, or it might be, you need to lose some weight, or, are you still single? I mean, how many ways can somebody insult you? The opportunities are endless, right? Of the two forms of confidence theft, it's probably the one that hurts the most, because you can't control anything that comes out of someone else's mouth. You can't control any actions that someone else does. That is entirely up to them, and they can say and do what they want to, and you're on the receiving end of it. But if we look back to last week's video on maintaining confidence, the very first tip that I said was to get rid of anything that negatively impacts you. And here is one of those opportunities that you have in just saying, you know what, this person just said that to me. I gotta put some space between me and them, because that cannot happen. I can't walk away from a conversation with X person and feel worse about myself than I did before I started talking to them. That's not healthy. And it's not. It's not. When it boils down to it, it's just not healthy. So again, if there are those people who are sucking the life out of you and just, they say little things here and there, and it's like you always leave their presence feeling worse than you did before you talk to them, then you've got to put some distance between you and the person. And the second tip that I have for active confidence theft is one that I'm not that good at. I think it's probably difficult for most people because it makes us vulnerable, but it is to tell that person what that comment made you feel like. If it hurt your feelings, to say that it hurt your feelings. Or, for me, it might be, if I wasn't working on my confidence, that would have really, really done a number on me. And I probably would have been very sad and upset about that for a long time if I hadn't been working on my confidence. Saying something like that. But it also helps, saying that also helps with explaining why you're distancing yourself from them. Because sometimes we want to just ignore texts, or just ignore phone calls, or just ignore messages. And You can do that, and in some cases it might be the better way to go about doing it, because it might just start talking to the person, might just start some really unnecessary drama. But if they just insulted you, then you can come back with, you know, that really hurt my feelings, and to be honest, I don't need people in my life that are dead set on hurting my feelings, so I just need to put some space between us so that I can focus on building my confidence and not having it destroyed. That explains to them what they did, it explains to them how you felt, and it explains the result of that entire encounter. And it also brings some closure to that relationship so that there doesn't have to be any lingering, like, from the other person's perspective, are we still friends? When in your mind you're like, nope. There doesn't have to be any questions about, you know, the friendship or relationship at all. It can just be, this is what happened, this is how I felt, and this is the result. Just a tip. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work for some people, but it has worked for me the 1 or 2 times that I've done it, it has worked for me. And probably the most important tip that I have for dealing with active confidence theft, where someone has said or done something that is just, you know, put a number on you and made you feel less than or made you feel worse than you did before. After any kind of derogatory comment or action, no matter what it is, the most important thing for you to do, is to build yourself back up. Like I said in week 1, the foundation of your confidence is in your abilities. It's not in what someone else thinks, it's not in their opinion, it's not in outer beauty, it's not in the way they live or the way you live, it's not in that, it's in your abilities. And if your confidence is rooted in that, then the comments, which usually are about shallow and vain things, they will only chip away a small sliver before you come to and realize, you know what, no, I'm pretty awesome, and they are pretty not awesome for that comment, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's on them. There have been plenty of opportunities, there have been plenty of times where I've had to adopt that feeling, and it's starting more and more to feel more comfortable for me to completely and immediately brush off a derogatory comment, because I realize, you know what, no, I'm good at all these things. I like the fact that I'm good at all these things. I can be good at more things if I want to, so I'm not worried about your little comment. Yeah, I'm still single. Okay, but I'm happy. Or, yes, I probably do need to lose a few pounds. Thank you. Hey, just get off my back. I'm still capable of doing everything I was capable of doing yesterday, if not more. So I hope that these tips are helpful. Again, I feel like with these videos, even though I write all my thoughts down, they still end up like, but I hope that this made sense. I hope these tips are helpful. If you have some tips on how to combat confidence theft, please leave them in the comment section so we can learn from you. Again, if you guys have any other topics that you want me to touch on in the coming year, just leave them in the comment section, or you can always send them to my email address. And yeah, that's all I have for you. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Bye.